You guys, happy birthday to my dear Robin, my dear Mary. Everyone wishing me a happy birthday, a peaceful birthday, a quiet birthday. And cake never hurt anyone. Hello, welcome. I'm Tracy. This is my channel from the Mermaid Cove, y'all. I had Ambien last night just to see. Felt like I needed a good solid sleep. I might feel a little groggy. I might have to, I don't think, I wouldn't take them all the time, but it's good to have when you feel like you just need to be rested. So I'm not sure about it. But anyway, maybe if I go to bed at 9. Y'all got up, I boiled eggs because that's the kind of girl I am. I just lickety-split, get things done. But I thought, okay, I'm going to have a boiled egg for breakfast. Then I want to make some tuna salad, something like that. And then I'm going to do my chicken nuggets today before work. So I have some food. They'll give me a couple days of food. There are dark rumors that kimbap is at the Trader Joe's. I'm going to need my creamer tomorrow, so I think I'll run by that and see if they have some, y'all, and if they do, and I'm gonna buy some. They have limits, and it's 2. If not, I'll probably get 4 or 5 and take a couple home. They're just such a, I could have that for breakfast too. It's just such a easy food and so good. And yeah, what else is going on here? So I got up, I gotta get some makeup on, and then I am going to have a list somewhere, y'all. Let's see this list. There's many lists. I come across many lists as I'm going through stuff. But I need to go out and change the light bulb so that my neighbor doesn't worry about it. Then I'm going to take my car, bring it to the front. I have some things to unload and to wash. And then the vets are coming Monday, so I'm going to leave everything. I've got it all tidy in my little foyer entrance. So, but I have a couple things of like cardboard and boxes and Valentine's stuff, a little Christmas stuff. So I want to transfer that to the garage and do some work on that in the garage, right? And it's going to make the space for me where everything I have that I need to do the packing with, right? Like I have bags, I have boxes, I have newspaper, I have peanuts, I have, well, not peanuts, but yeah, crunchy paper. And scissors and tape and all that. So I want to have that out of right when you walk into my foyer. I want to go check on everything downstairs. And yeah, I nearly did get everything picked up off the floor. I'm just really worried about the ceiling more. But the fan is going. Oh, we're going to switch that around. And yep, I took a bunch of things out of there I didn't think I was going to let go of, have it in the pile. Just moving on, y'all. Just got to move on. And what else do I have to do? I need to put my plants in soil. So I might need to get a little, just take my top off and do it out there. And get those watered. Get my mail. My information ready to sit down. And then work on the T word. Even if I don't get it completely done, I can get the information I need in there and then work on it all day. So, yeah. Still working on cleaning my table. Always, I guess. So I found this. My mom loved these things. Cooking Light Best Ever Recipe Makeovers. So you take what was that fatty fat food? What was that movie? Anyway, you take macaroni and cheese, kale and caramelized onion grilled cheese. Oh, that sounds good. Minus the kale. Sweet spicy chicken and veggie stir fry. Just don't have to make it that spicy. What's that? But you know what? I'm going to glance at it today and I'm just going to put it for the, what do you call it? The vets. So, yeah. Oh my goodness, what's this? 20-minute chicken enchiladas. I don't like flour tortillas cooked and get mushy. But you can make them and put them in a bowl, right? So you just have the normal seasonings, right? Some chicken stock, onion, tomato sauce, shredded chicken, black beans, corn tortillas. Doesn't really, well, it does have a tomato sauce. I have a really good like verde sauce for it. That might be good. Anyway, that is not going into a pile to be looked at later. That's the key there, y'all. Look too cool for school. So Kenny's coming in the morning tomorrow. I'm gonna be up at like 6, ready to go. But that's good. That will give me time to get some stuff. So just wanted to share one book with you. This is Animal Embroidery Workbook. So I can embroider. I have embroidering kits. I have everything I need to embroider. So I'm not sure here, y'all. What's that? See? It's kind of thick. It's like I want it thin, but I don't want it too thin. Oh, I get that. Yeah. But for drawing, right? Let me see. I could do an octopus. I was feeling an octopus. I was feeling like doing a mermaid, doing an octopus, a mermaid and friends, right? Look at that. So, oh, that's cute too. So anyway, I'm gonna look through here. I'm gonna pick out a couple things to draw. Simple drawings. I'm gonna, this next one, I'm just limited to like 10 minutes. Just see what can I do in 10 minutes kind of thing for the next 10. That will put me at over 60. Oh, bunnies are out, you guys. Oh, why are they out front? The bunnies are here. They should be in my backyard. You couldn't even see them. It's a bunny habitat. Oh, the one little bunny. Go find your mama, bunny. Yeah. I wanted to put hay out one time. My mom's like, we're not having thousands of bunnies in this backyard. See, I need that voice in me, you guys. So let's see how good I'm going to do these eggs. So I think Claire, you told me this, other people told me, I just put the eggs in water, turn up, let it, when it gets to boiling, I turn it off, I put a cover on it, and then do it for as long as I want. So I think I did 9 minutes. My mom, I told this before, she made the best poached eggs. And so, oh my God. Poached eggs, like, they go wild. Pretty impressed. All right, let's take a bite. Good. Yum. So, that turned out okay. So is that how you guys boil eggs now? It seems like that's the way to boil eggs, right? Is to do just what I said. And then if you want them runnier, you do them later. I usually do 10 minutes, but I felt like I messed around a little bit. I like that yolk. So these are Viva towels, and I do think they're the best. And there's usually not stuff printed on them and all that kind of thing. And what's funny, one was like standing up in my library and it absorbed all the water. So there really wasn't a lot in a carpet. It's a little bit of an expensive way, but yeah. But so right now I'm saving them and using them to clean and wipe up the cupboards and stuff like that. Maybe I should just put them in the garage, right? Clean up stuff there. So I did 6. So I figured 2 for breakfast, 2 for snack, and then 2 for tuna salad. That seems reasonable. And then I hope those chicken things will, well, there's just chicken, egg to hold it together, And then there's cheese, which will give it some, when that cheese melts and you let it get, that's the big thing now. And it'd be crunchy as opposed to coating it. I will say this, I saw someone do, what did she do? She did, oh, I know, she got rice crackers, as you know, the terrible things that people gave you like a dessert that you could barely swallow. But she took those and crunched them up from a coating, which that's not a bad idea, but you know, if I can cut out a couple steps, then that's gonna work better for me. But yeah, so I thought, you know what? You need to feed your brain, and that has to be one of the first things you do in the morning instead of the last things you do rushing to work. So I'm going to get this food done, right? What I'm going to do is I am going to enjoy you guys. I'm going to have my coffee, I've been having some protein shake, and I am going to go outside and do those things and then come in and heat up my eggies, and then I will we'll make the tuna and we'll get my fritters going because I want you to see that and how that turns out. And then it's Low Carb Love. It's from her channel. She always has fun recipes. So Low Carb Love, y'all. And then, yeah, tuna fish. I'm trying to decide. I have some lemon, that good lemon pasta from Trader Joe's last year that they come out with. I got to get in there and get some of my lemon pesto stuff, you guys. But I was thinking about making a cup of that. And then I would put in, well, honestly, y'all, we have to talk about me getting my bean action going. Like, you know, letting them soak and all that. Not this week. Next week we'll try that. But I think I have a can of either northern beans or red beans or whatever. So whatever can I have, I'm going to open it. I'm going to throw in that. I only have one can tuna fish left. So when I did a Walmart haul, they were going to mail it. And I just thought, you know what, I'll just run into Joe's. Costco has the best. I should get someone to get me some from there because it is the perfect, easy food. But there seems to be a plethora of people showing you how to bake tuna stuff, y'all. I can't. You know what? Most of us in the 70s were scarred, 60s, 70s, scarred by hot tuna from a cafeteria. I mean, literally couldn't eat hot tuna. Now, hot crab, y'all, I'm going to eat some hot crab. But some of that tuna, I just got, yeah. And Tuna Helper, was nothing helping about Tuna Helper, y'all. And Hamburger Helper, I could not stand those things. So, but a little pasta, some beans, all that yummy stuff. Some, let's see, I have some onion to cut up. I could cut up peppers. I could, you know what? We're going to make a little Mermaid Cove tuna salad. Mermaid Cove, right? And then I have those they're gluten-free crackers from the Joe's. I don't like the crisp bread thingies, but I think these don't have rye or something in it that tasted terrible before, so they're kind of good. They don't taste like a cardboard rice thing. So I have that. I don't have any salad left, right? And I have apples. I'm craving raspberries, y'all. But I have frozen raspberries, so I can have them. Apple, you know, I got to get my act together and do cut my apple, a tiny bit of peanut butter. I took the peanut butter to work. I think I need some honey. And then some nuts ground up. And you know what? I have a like 70% chocolate bar. So just like less than half a little thing. I mean, one thing, like I said, I want to be in the moment. And eating with you guys is one thing. But at work, you know, making a snack, like how easy to go grab a cupcake, go grab an ice cream cone, whatever. But to make that dish, you know, and you don't want to cut your apple early. You don't want it to get, you know, yellowed. And then so it's just, it takes a moment. And I think that for me right now, trying to cultivate the moment and mindfulness. Yeah. Now, and also have an alarm around your neck. Yeah, this came in handy. I tell you, my mom, because she couldn't hear it. And I don't know, I'm going to have to deep dive this, but actually, I'm going to go to the Apple store because I need to get, this charger sometimes my phone will stop charging, say it's too hot. So it freaks me out and I don't let it charge up all the way. But I have one in my room. So I need one for my kitchen. I need one for my living room. I have one downstairs. I have to check and see if it works. And then I need one for my purse. Because like I was getting my hair done. And y'all, I don't know if we deep dyed my hair. Anyway, it's, you know, it doesn't look blonde. I know it's blonder than dark, right? But it's okay. As the toner changes, it will change. She did a lot of highlights. But I like that sort of ice blonde look. I think, you know, when I'm older and I have my hair cut super short, I could have ice blonde hair then. But, you know, I have to get a razor for my neck, right? Because I do have a low neckline. And it shouldn't matter. Y'all, what does that matter? But it matters to me. It's one of those weird things. I love every wrinkle on my face, mostly though. There's a new batch that comes right here. And I think it's I'm sleeping, right here. It's kind of unusual. Maybe I'll do is take a picture of my face and then do like an art thing with it. All the marks. But I'm deep diving watching this Chad Daybell, Lori Daybell. I don't like to listen to court. I can't stand listening to court like that, but I like to listen to lawyers talk about it. But for others who don't know, Lori is something and Chad, they thought they're exalted beings, they're Mormons, but they went on a fringe group and they decided they had to kill the children because they were zombies. Well, they killed the children because she got $4,000 or $5,000 a month from their Social Security if they didn't report them gone. Just gross. But obviously something went really wrong with her. But listening to some of all, because you know, you want to know why. Like really, how does that happen? Because her family loved her. I mean, they were stunned. I mean, they really, when her children reported missing, they thought, of course, she's just hiding. Really didn't have a doubt in their mind. So it's interesting, but her uncle and her brother have a podcast that's called like Tylee and JJ's Silver Lining. So what they're trying to do is find the silver lining. They're trying to come together to talk about it, to figure stuff out, because so much is unknown, right? And they make wild lumps and jumps to conclusions, but that, you know, that's the right. And, you know, and the brother Adam, very cute, y'all. This is a good looking family. He gets attacked and stuff. It's just unbelievable. But it's rare that people, instead of just reacting to what happened, and it's tragic, is like, what happened? Like, can we prevent this? Like, what? Everyone's unique, but were there signs? And one of the things, though, some of the now I'm telling you, they're all good looking family, and there's a lot of cousins, but there's this whole thing about Lori needing to feel validated and special. And apparently in the Mormon church, you can get a temple recommend. It's not an easy thing to get, but you can go into the temple, I guess, and pray and do things. And normal people say they would probably go once a month. Like, it's a big deal. And really, really devoted people maybe go once a week. This girl was there every day for like 6 to 7 hours. Number one, why would the people at the temple allow that? If that's radical, and why would they not say, hey, this doesn't feel okay, right? But yeah. But she's an attractive woman, but what is interesting is to me, she looks ugly because she did terrible things, and she looks just like ugly. I mean, I know I can see people taking pictures when she was younger, but apparently looks were very important in this family. And her older brother, there's two brothers. One was involved in the killing, and he died of natural causes, like really conveniently. He's attractive. They're all attractive. But one of the cousins from, I don't know which side of the family, or there's a bunch, he's also, she got involved and obsessed with prepping, right? And I get that, you know, like during the pandemic, we all thought about prepping, having enough. What do you do without? What's your plan? Now, these preppers are, now, and Mormons, I do believe, are required to have a year's worth of like food and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you live in an apartment in Salt Lake City. I'm not sure how that all works. I have a Mormon customer. I'll have to ask her. So she got really involved in that, and there's a cousin that was really involved in that. But for her, I mean, for him, listen to it, y'all. Okay. It's not only is it the prepping, it's guns, it's fuel, it's tents, it's taking your family in the heat of the desert and practicing surviving. Oh, you mean you went to Disneyland? Oh my God, how fun. Did you like camp out in the parking lot with no food? So there's a whole, like, looks like anything, levels of investment. So that's fine, right? Whatever. They're 100% Jesus is coming back to the earth. That there's supposed to be all this tribulation. But the problem is, yes, right now it's crazy, but there's always been tribulation in this world. Always been tribulation. Always been oppression and violence beyond our understanding, right? Beyond our understanding. And yes, now there are riots. Well, okay, let's all go back to the 1960s. It's pretty grim, pretty terrible. But so this to them is like, yeah, it's heating up. It's heating up. Let's double everything. Now, my thinking is, their whole thing was there'll be 144 people saved, and that there's 2 people, one's in jail, one's on trial, are in charge. Okay, let me tell you something. There's a book called The Road by McCormick, and they made a movie out of it. And I would never watch the movie, but I've seen, clips of it, stuff like that. And I meandered through the books. There's a man and his son who survived the apocalypse, whatever, the tribulation. I had like nightmares. I mean, I read like a couple paragraphs. So if that happens, I'm happy to go. I am happy to move on. I mean, and I can do this with the pandemic. It was so scary. I was worried about cat food right now. Cat food went like from, God forbid, like I could get on a good day $9.99 to solid $14. Then it was like, could you get it, right? And then I got that government money, y'all. I bought it in cat food because, one, I had 2. Oscar, I could eat beans and old rice. My cats would not do that, so they would starve. And so that made me feel better. And the dates were good. I knew I'd go through it, so it wasn't like I was wasting it. Like even right now, I have, let me show y'all, see if you can see. So I have 4 ready to go, and up in the second tree, I have 2 open. So 6 kind of started into the, So I just have it. It's not like it goes bad, and I just get on deliver, and then I just feel better. And, but yeah, so now my cat food is $20. $13 to $20. And for a while there, you couldn't even get the brand, and they're pretty particular. Clara, especially, Oscar would eat, I'm sure he would eat anything. I mean, he would. He doesn't like people food. They don't like people food. Anyway, so all this is kind of interesting. But this one brother who's big in, a cousin who's big in this prepping, like a big thing, like he's been on a National Geographic special. And, so that gives them all kinds of legitimacy, I guess. It's not that there's anything wrong with it, but, and also, if you do not have your own food, they're not giving it to you. Now, I'm sorry. Isn't this the Mormon church? Isn't this like based on Jesus coming? What would Jesus do? Would Jesus not share his, Jesus would take one piece of bread and they're not going to do that. They're not even going to give a bite, right? And it's so interesting. If you read Man's Search for Meaning, and actually there's a woman, I can't remember her name, which it's Eve Ensler. You guys, I need to find that book and talk to y'all about it. But she was young, and she was with her mom and sister, and they were in the line, and an officer pulled her away, shoved her older sister and her mom, and she tried to break free of him to go, and he shoved her hard and wouldn't let her go. Well, they obviously went right to death. And so she was a dancer, and apparently, I don't know what horrible, yeah, it's amazing you're among all this death and decay and just heartache, and this, whoever ran the camp or somebody like that loved dancing, so she would dance for him. Can you imagine? Hopefully she just lost herself. Anyway, he would give her a loaf of bread. Now, what do you think? You think she gobbled up that bread, saved it, hoarded it? No, she went back and shared it with everyone. because why would she want to do that when others were starving, right? So this is my thing. And of course, the story goes on that I don't know timelines, and I'm not good at that because I do not follow or read about the Holocaust or World War I, World War II, or any of these. I just can't. And but I did read her book, and parts I could not read, but I read it because she's now a psychologist. But they had this death march, right? And she could not walk. And that group of girls that she helped formed a human like chair, and they couldn't be seen carrying her, I guess, but they all did their part and carried her to freedom eventually. So that's my thinking, that how, Viktor Frankl talks about that those who shared seem to survive than those that, and you can't blame anyone for anything, right? I don't know how to act. I really don't know how to act. You don't know. But I do know that this idea that, okay, you have hordes and hordes of food, and in theory, everyone around you does, and you won't share it with people who don't, then you set up wars, right? Then you got to be armed, because how many days till somebody's family's starving, they're going to go get your food? I mean, why did I get on this subject? Anyway, I don't know. Just about food and hoarding and that. And I said to Beverly last night, I said, can you be a hoarder or not know it? She's like, you're not a hoarder. I'm a collector. But I think I'm to a point right now that I need to let go of things I didn't think I wanted to. And I've been doing it, like letting go of Santa, y'all. You can't. I still need to post that picture. The symbolicness of that for me is huge, huge. I think I'll look back in time, and that's a huge turning corner for me from going to an adult in the best sense of the word. Being fun and having that 7-year-old child alive in me, but not maybe running me. So right now I feel like I have to be a little tricky about all that. It's like trying to get your kid through a line that they don't see the candy, so you don't have to deal with the candy kind of thing. I don't know. But it's, yeah. I didn't get to go through my gift closet. I'm going to do that this weekend because I want to deal with the chaos in the foyer. That will all be gone. And then other stuff I know I'm putting in the garage can be gone. And it's not like I'm putting things in the garage to hoard them or not let go of them. This is stuff I'm going to keep in the garage. So I do like to save cardboard because you use it in art. And yes, I can always get it, but I'm going to have one box. That's it. That's reasonable. A box, right? A decent sized box. Unless something really cool packaging comes up, and it does, you guys. And bags. I have a thing for bags. Way it is. I'm going to have a thing for bags, right? And envelopes, that kind of thing. So, and then I'm going to put all my Valentine fun stuff. So I'm going to have Valentine, Halloween, and Christmas in there. And I'm going to do it. I got things to put in that just the Mises don't like, and I'm going to make it super tight. And then when I want to do Valentine's, I can go grab it and do it and set limits, right? So, yeah. So that will give me space in there for that. And anything right now that's seasonal that, they're not decorations, they're fun things to do, like my glue books and I want to get 100%. There's so much I want to do, and I'm so blessed, right? And I'm really working in my head how I'm going to organize this time. Like if I want breakfast and I want to cook, I got to get up earlier and start doing it right away. It's going to be the same thing with art. And the closer I get to really decluttering everything, majority of everything, and this project is now maintenance, you guys, that's really my goal. So I want to do that, and that's going to give me a space for everything that I use to do everything there. Then I'm going to move in the garage too, because they will pick up. I think I can get them to say, hey, I have something in the front and something in the back, so I don't have to move things around. But that's where my head is. Now, I'm not kidding you. So I'd love to know what you guys do, but I know right now this is, and I don't know, but I have pretty much every greeting card I've ever gotten, including my birth cards, unless which is funny, I don't ever come across in like a kid's birthday party that I've seen yet that my friends would have brought, because, cards were the thing. Okay. What I am doing right now is I am bringing them up to the living room. And I don't know. I mean, it's hard to go through them, actually. I went through some, and actually, speaking of Mormons, there's a volunteer named Carol who came and volunteered for us. One of the most cheerful, happy people. And she was a documenter. Now that I think about it, she had a book of people she'd worked with, volunteered with, because she said time does take names away from you and the experience away from you. And sometimes someone will say, do you remember this volunteer? Because we have volunteers all the time, and I've worked there 30 years, right? And we've gone from, sometimes in the summer, we have 25 volunteers, but we usually have a core group of volunteers of like 10. Usually children. We have an older woman now, Ruth's lovely, love her. And it's just such a good experience, right? And I love being around the young kids, and they're all so different. Hughes really gets it, and and other people are like, what now? What now? Touch every book and come back. Okay, I did that. It's fun. And it's fun to be a part of. This was a big deal when it started. State of Maryland did it. The lieutenant governor, who was a Kennedy, I forget which one, Kathleen Kennedy, I think. It was a big deal. It was about, because the Kennedys are into that, about volunteering, about starting work experience, starting like you have a schedule, you need to call. So it wasn't just come in when you want. No, I actually had meetings with them and talk, I had after 2 weeks, right? We would sit and talk and, here's my expectations, here what I think you're doing good, let's work on this. Because in libraries, it's always accuracy first and then speed, right? And then the whole picture. But it was fun. It was really fun. I went all over the state and met people. It was really cool. But at some point you get really burned out on that, and I don't do it anymore. So it's not my job anymore, though. It's just fun to interact. So you're teaching people, right? I can't. In the beginning of cell phones, there was this kid, and sometimes it's the parents that want him to do it, and that's fine. That's fine. But I'm always a little leery. People do it differently now, but I would only talk to the kids. I don't need the mother setting up everything. Now, time-wise, because she's got a calendar and all that, that's fine. But that kid had to be there with us. No. And all my questions directed to the kid. And I said to him, now, if you need to ask your mother a question, you're welcome to do that. But your mother is not going to speak for you. Because if you can't look at me and directly answer questions, this is not a good fit for you. And some of these kids, this one kid would be in the corner on a cell phone. I don't think any of us had cell phones. And I went up to him the third time. I said, okay, put your phone down. I said, I have no desire to take your phone and hide it. I'm not here to babysit you. I'm not your mother. I said, but you do have a responsibility, and I have a responsibility to you and to the program, right? So here's your deal. For now today, I want you to sign out. Whether someone gets you, it doesn't matter to me. You're signing out because I don't have time for this. And I'm only giving you 30 minutes because that's all the work I saw you. Yes, you've been here too. You're only getting credit for 30. You are not to come here. You have 2 hours and you're in the corner on the phone and I'm chasing you down. Not playing that game. I'm not your mama. Not. So called the parents, said, hey, this is the story. Dad got crazy mad. I said, let me explain something to you, sir. You have a problem. Okay, it's your problem. It's not my problem. He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to listen. He can't focus. And I don't know what the reasons are because I'm not a teacher and I'm not a therapist. I said, so here's the story. If he wants to come back and he's going to work, but I am not here to babysit your child. I'm just not. And if he needs credits, go, you know what? I said, the best thing you would do for him is go on our website, the county, find a day of picking up trash or something like that, or cleaning a school, or cleaning old people, or serving food to the homeless, or something where he actually has to be doing something because he's not getting any value out of this at all. Maybe that will give him value. And the man calmed down and he goes, that's a brilliant idea. I said, he's young, but I said, you need to hop on it because this is, some people are just gung-ho workers. I was always like that, always. So it's interesting. And then other kids are lovely. And then some kids can't really speak up and it's just fun. It's just interesting to be around all these kids, and but it's even better when you're not responsible for them. But I do pay attention, and I do work with them, and we all train in different ways. It's always nice to have different training. But anyway, I don't know how I got on this, y'all. But the woman who wrote this book, I think it's called The Gift, right? Oh, okay. Silver linings, right? So this program is about silver linings. What silver linings? So this uncle and they're called as let's see, Adam Cox, and I forget, the uncle is Rex Connor, I think, because it's his sister is the mother of all these children. And it's interesting, and they're very earnest. It's very heartfelt, right? But what's fascinating, I think, a little bit, one, there's another cousin called Megan. Y'all, you probably don't want to hear this, but none of my friends want to hear it, so I'm going to talk to you about it. There's a cousin called Megan, and she spent a lot of summers and growing up with them. I mean, these are all close. This isn't like, oh yeah, there's my cousin, the serial murderer, child killer. No, this is Lori, the person I grew up with. So I haven't deep dived her yet, but I find her fascinating. She has said in other interviews that she was, so I don't understand this, okay? So there's sexual abuse of children, molestation, all forms, right? But she said she was sex trafficked. I hear that a lot now. I'm not quite sure what that means. I don't. So, and she has a book. So, I just don't buy books. I'm going to hunt and see if I can borrow it throughout the United States. We have a thing that will let me do that. But I can kind of tell, and she had an honest interview on this podcast. If you're interested at all in this, there's some real, and I'm not Mormon. I grew up with some Mormon people, but it's not that. It's just a way of life, I guess. But anyway, called Hidden True Crime. I love them a lot. Hidden True Crime. And Lauren, who's the host, she said something the other day. Now, she obviously has Botox, okay? And she's a grown-up woman. I mean, she's older. And one day she was on camera. She'd been sick and didn't feel good. And she had nothing on. She said, the next time she came on, she goes, women can't win. I get crap. Why do you wear so much makeup? Why do you have Botox? Who do you think you are? Then when she had no makeup, well, what the hell's wrong with you? Why won't you wear makeup? We don't want to look at that. One, can you imagine? What is so wrong? What happened to someone in their life that's what they're going to offer? So she said you can't win. Well, that's not winning either way, right? That should, who cares? But that was interesting. But this whole family is really, and she's a very interesting looking woman. She fascinates me, but she's very kind. And I don't know, I'm about ready to move out and live with all the Mormon people. Not. But I think it's learning about I would like to go to church. I have nobody to go to church with. And I don't know why. I mean, I grew up going to church, but I like the idea of fellowship but I don't want politics. I don't want drama. I like to have something contemporary and music and, maybe break bread with people, get to know people, right? But I haven't really deep dived that. Mimi and I both kind of wanted to do that. And there's really nobody that I can really even strong hand into doing it. And I won't. It'll be something I do on my own. And it's on my list. But so maybe that I'm just learning all this different stuff. But so Lauren she has really good people on. And she's become insanely close with so there was 2 kids that got murdered. One was called JJ, and he's autistic. And Lori and her husband, Charles Valla, it was Charles Valla's nephew, and they adopted him. And the other one was called Tylee, who was Lori's child with a second husband. Women's have 5, 6 husbands. Anyway, with his second husband, something like that. And so Larry and Kay Woodcock are the ones that reported JJ missing, because they talked to him all the time, and all of a sudden that stopped, right? And they love this kid. They just knew her son, I guess, had drug and for the best for JJ, because he loved his kid. He thought this would be stable. No one would have thought otherwise. Charles was wonderful and a good provider. Lori loved kids. Everyone thought she was a good mother. Like JJ really blossomed with her. You are till you're not, I guess. But anyway, Larry Woodcock and Kay. Kay is the Charles Valla's sister, and they got Lori's brother to murder Charles. It's just the whole thing. And then that brother also murdered the children, they think, was part of it. But they were so it's interesting. Why would he do that? Like the other brother, Adam, who's is still reeling. You can see that it's just beyond him. And he's in therapy, and part of this is try to figure this out and try to live a life, right? And find, like he said, it consumes him, as I can imagine it would, But yeah. But anyway, those Woodcocks are some of the loveliest, nicest people, and Lauren does a lot with them and has become friends with them, and so it's really interesting. As much as lawyers talk about podcast communities, there are a lot of podcasters who, so Larry and this Kay were smart, And there's another story I find, the Markells, the mother of Dan Markel and his father and sister, they did the same thing. And podcasters talking about, there's people are smart watching this. People are like clever and are interested in research and find things. Really smart. You guys probably never heard of these people, but within that world, and it's a big world, it's a thing. So anyway, I like her, but she got Megan on, and Megan's actually an opera singer, but grew up Mormon. And it's really interesting that, I guess to put, again, like I don't have anything against Lutheranism, but my dad wasn't an extremist, right? But it can be anything. But Megan, so it sounds like there was sexual abuse. Now, what is the whole family or what? It's just, I feel like she's saying the father of the children that Lori that killed her children, the other one that there was sexual abuse there, and they're not mentioning any of that, and they don't really, I don't think, connect with Megan. So I was thinking that as much as the two men are really trying to talk about in this, I still think you can feel, this is what I can feel, and I think this is where they're a little bit frustrated, that there's an undercurrent, there's something going on there that I don't know if they don't have a recollection, they really don't understand, because they were older than the girls. So I don't know, but something's going on there. But I like watching Megan, and she's speaking her truth. And within that society, and again, not all Mormons are the same, but it's a very structured life, right? There are many rules. You can get excommunicated for having sex outside of marriage if you confess it. The whole thing, it's wild. But it's just interesting to learn about and live about. And but this Megan, she's very interesting. And she's an opera singer, and I don't think she married someone in the church, but it was they call it coercive control kind of marriage. But she got out of that. She's 4 kids. And so it's just interesting as she shares all of the pain. And they had a celebration of life, and she sang, and I couldn't watch all of it. It's very sad. But the uncle and it's called, let's just say Silver Linings Podcast. They want something good to come out of it. They want to understand and learn and heal, but they know that other people are in situations like they are. Theirs just happened to be international. Like they had a young woman on, I had to turn it off. I couldn't watch it, but when she was 4 years old, she found her brother strangled in his bed, and the mom had done it. Wow. I think, y'all, I don't know. I mean, I had horrible things happen to me too. Yeah, we won't discuss it. One day I'll tell my story about my dad, but and his suspicious death. But so maybe that's why I'm drawn to it. There's so much in my life I haven't explored. But one thing I wanted to talk to y'all about, there's something, and I get the initials wrong all the time, ENDREM. I'm going to find a book on it, because it came up in one of this, I was just listening to the Silver Linings podcast yesterday because it's uplifting. But he had on there's all these cousins. So another cousin was on with his wife, and he was I want to say Vietnam vet, y'all, but that's, the other war vet, Afghanistan. And he was really struggling, and he got into therapy and now does it. But there's a thing called EMDR. I'm pretty sure that's right, but I've done it. With something you do, like your hand, and I don't remember exactly, because I did it when I was in deep grief for my mother, and I had a therapist to help me through it. But somehow it's so wild to explain, but so there's something about your eyes following your hands that I think engages part of your thinking brain. And you're asked questions. And at first I was like, I feel like there's a right and wrong answer, because, and other than, in America and the world. But somehow, I just thought, okay, well then you can do it wrong, but we're going to keep doing it. It's almost like you're going down into a memory, an experience that you may never even known happened, that's locked deep somewhere in you. And I'm going to tell you, it was terrifying. I can't describe this terror of it. But it's also terror in a safe environment, right? But when you go down there and maybe you were pre-verbal, I don't know. It's fascinating. And it was wild. And when my brain, I think because of this, sort of let go of are you doing this right? Is this correct? And all I can say is, and I can't even really, I've only done it like 3 times, I think. And the 3rd time was wild. And I don't know, I processed something. I don't know. It's not like you remember. It's not like you think, aha, off my list. No, it was something really dark and really deep and scary. And it helped me. And I remember when I came out of it, because tears were coming down my face. My therapist was crying. And she said to me, what an honor. Thank you. What an honor to experience this with you, the trust involved and the healing. And you think, oh my Lord, when your therapist is kind of like, hey, good, like, whoa. And I think when I started talking to Beverly about it, and then I stopped talking about it. I just let my body process it. Now, the thing is, it's not like one and done, because, you could even be holding pain, like kids were mean to you, or, things you just don't even remember, right? But also traumatic events. Doesn't have to just be, maybe you have witnessed traumatic events or heard things or happened to you. My mom and I were in a car accident, pretty bad car accident when I was 3, which I always thought, I wonder when that's my brain tumor started, because he said he probably started around age 3 or so. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Traumatic head. But your body remembers that and it doesn't understand it. And there was no seatbelt. I was laying with my head in my mom's lap. So we're all lucky. Because there was no seatbelts then, or there were, we didn't wear them. So yeah, so I'm going to investigate that. I think watching yesterday, because 3 times it came up, I thought, yeah. So my grief counselor I worked with during the pandemic, you couldn't get her. But the cousin that's the therapist that does this for people said you can do it on the computer, like the Zoom. I thought, I'm going to look into that. It's wild. And I know some people, I think someone like my brother, who I don't know, he doesn't share a lot of all that, but I don't know how, deep he thinks about it. I don't think you have to have understanding. Like, oh yeah, I was, molested, or oh yeah, I was beaten up, or, oh yeah, I had a controlling coercive family kind of thing. Things like that. I don't know. I'm going to research it. But I do know that I changed. I can't explain to you how I changed, but I do know that there was something healed in me. It's almost like you explore it, and in a safe environment, and something changes. Now, like I said, we did it like 3 times. So anyway, I'm going to look into that. I'm very interested in it. And, had talk therapy, and I know a lot of stuff, but I do still feel like there's things down there. And it's like, in your computer, it's like almost like a virus running in the background that you're not aware of, kind of thing. So anyway, I'm going to explore that. I think I would rather do that than talk therapy, actually, because I have y'all for talk therapy. But anyway, I have no idea how I got here, but I do need to get busy and get my things done. It is 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. So I have 2.5 hours left, y'all. I'm going to finish my egg. I'm going to go outside and do my stuff and have that done. And then we're going to come back and we are going to make some food. For anything else, y'all, we're going to make some food. Very simple food. Let you know how it is. I'm excited. I hope I like these things. So with the chicken's plain, right? So she said you can make it Italian. You could make it super hot. You could put hot sauce on it. However you want to make them. Whatever you like in your chicken nuggets. But in general, chicken nuggets are plain. But I think I'm going to do is a little oregano, kind of Italian kind of thing. But yeah, so thank you guys. I'm going to post this. It's going to take me a second to post it. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you being therapists. And if it's something that resonates with you, I tell you, it makes my heart feel full. And I know it does. And I think that's where I'm getting the energy, because this is life-changing for me right now. And it's painful. And sometimes it's joyous, but it's hard. And that's why people always do the right thing, because it's hard. It's hard. You want to work out and get in shape. It's hard when you're not that person, right? But we can do hard things. We can, and I have done. And it's hard sometimes not to do the right thing, right? Because there's another feeling that comes with it, and the right thing, but things that you think will make your life feel better or more yourself. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I'll be back. And I do have, I think I'm going to do makeup brushes today. I keep threatening. I got all kinds of stuff coming up. And yeah, it's so much fun to share with you guys and to have someone in the process. And I know there's some new people. Thank you so much. And let me know your name and where you're from. I always find that fascinating. I got some Florida people now. And I'm a True Blue. So, all right, guys, you take care. And I will be popping in.